Loves the sun. Who cares if it makes rainbows? Who cares what it does? Valentine's Day. It's 2/14. Valentine's Day kind of sucks alone. There are options. You can go the fucking dented can aisle that is dating apps or masturbate pornography. You can do that. Buy yourself a Whitman sampler, some long stem roses, light a candle. Anyway, I review two of my favorite albums every day. Today I have to review a Perfect 10 record. Easily, this is a Perfect 10 record. I will hear no arguments that this isn't a Perfect 10 record. It's 3 albums. It was exhausting. Took 3 hours. I did listen for 3 hours in a row to love songs that are not really love songs. They're just songs about the emotional difficulty that surrounds perceptions of love. If it was just 3 hours of love songs, that would have been much easier than what listening to this record is, which is the most ambitious lyrical record about romantic love and infatuation that I've ever heard. But yeah, like Shakespearean level. Fucking lyrics on this are incredible. Musically, it's usually kind of hack. Musically, it's usually like a synthy They Might Be Giants, but like worse. Or it's just a few chords on whatever, mandolin or guitar. But the lyrics to this are incredible. They're some of the best lyrics on any album ever. Yeah. First song, don't fall in love with me yet, we only recently met. I'm not in love with you, but you might decide on it. If you're weaker, choose to go absolutely cuckoo. When you see your error, then you can flee in terror like everybody else does it, only to you this cause I'm easy to get rid of, but not if they fall in love. Now that we're on a lake, and if I make a mistake, your heart will certainly break, and all my friends will blame you. There's only fair to tell you I'm absolutely cuckoo. Yeah, if you know all the words to that song off of your head, that's a red flag. You shouldn't know all those words. You shouldn't know all the words to all my words. Which is next. It's a reassuring love song. This is like pretty genuine and heartfelt. It opens with the cuckoo, which is like this kind of earworm that's really pretty and repetitive, and then it's just a straightforward, like, all my words. It's just a reassuring love song. It's like banjo, sparse, folky, dirge, all the things he could do that he wouldn't do to express how much he loves you. Gets darker into how you can't make her stay. Yeah, I think the singing is either Stephen or Claudia. Claudia Gonson or Stephen Merritt. Stephen Merritt is so annoying. He's not only spells it with a PH, but it's IN. To give you a level of the pretension of this dude. I can't get enough of it. Anyway, all my words, great song. Great lyrics. I can't read lyrics to every one of these songs, or else this thing is going to be 3 hours. A chicken with its head cut off. Great. It's groovy little folk country ramble about, conflicted relationship. Reno, Dakota is Claudia's song, and it's these neat little dense rhymes. I think Claudia writes some of the stuff. I think Stephen writes most of the stuff, pretty much all of the stuff, but I think she gets writing credits on some of the ones she sings. Reno, Dakota. It's just fun to hear things that rhyme with Dakota, like quota and iota. You just don't. Anyway, it's a nice little banjo jam about how she's turned into an alcoholic because she has a broken heart. I Don't Want to Get Over You is the happiest song yet, lyrically. It's kind of melancholy, the arrangement, but the lyrics are it's pretty straightforward, optimistic, actual love song, which is rare on this record, actually. Come Back from San Francisco. This is where it sounds like they're doing this, like, impression of trippy folk. It reminds me of, like, the early psychedelia pop, like that. If you're going to San Francisco type shit. Strawberry Alarm Clock, the commercial version of the. Anyway, but there's neat guitar stacking and the vocal female lead with the male vocal harmony is nice. The Luckiest Guy in the Lower East Side. It's like a chimey blurt from the synths, but then it's like a folky jaunt with like a toy sounding piano and these odd lyrics. Goes through beautiful vocal melody sustained over, then it wraps up. Let's Pretend We're Bunny Rabbits is like very different. It's like weird percussive drum loops over like waves of synth noise and like a simple guitar melody. And it's an outward kind of optimistic plea for like longing for somebody, for love. The Cactus Is Where My Heart Should Be is these ringing little tinny strings underneath an acoustic guitar and a cute little love poem. I Think I Need a New Heart is one of the groovier songs melodically, one of the more complex. It's a neat little banjo percussion guitar riff. The Book of Love is more sparse and melancholy, but great lyrics about the complexity of trying to love someone or find someone who loves you. The Book of Love has music in it. In fact, it's where music comes from. Some of it's just transcendental. Some of it is just really dumb. Those are very good lyrics. And I think it is where it comes from. And some of it is really just dumb. I just love it when you sing, and you can sing me anything. Great song. It's kind of got to get by with a little help from my friends. If I sang out a tune, we'd just stand up and walk out on me. It's nice. It's a nice little love song. Fido on Your Leash is really long. Like, one of the longer songs. It's this wild curve sonically, kind of. It's like this funky synth bass stuff. It's the first song that's not really love. It's kind of love. Because it's about how you can't control people. And anyway, you get these like screechy, percussive, bleepy, dark, off-key, synth key. Ugh. Yeah, it goes pretty wild, but yeah. It's a metaphor. It's a good metaphor. How fucking romantic. Oh, that's the one that's just a cappella finger snapping. And the words are really good. I should look up the words to these songs. That's what the good parts are of them. Anyway, the one you really love is upbeat. It's like a country folk song. It's got melancholic lyrics about unrequited love. Loving somebody, them not loving you. Then there's a neat banjo solo. Punk Love. There's a noisy burst of like jokey, kind of dizzying, accelerating, just like yelling things. Punk Love. They need 69 songs, guys. That was the bit they were going for. They need some of these aren't songs because they want to be 69. Shout Pisces. Parades Go By is based around like a blurry synth horror movie strings, and then he recites these lyrics, and it turns into a more tuneful melodic piece, and then back to like blurry string. The guitar comes in, and it goes on this like weird parade melody, and then he's saying, "Go leave me behind." Boa Constrictor, Claudia's song. I love this song. It's this tricky little like acoustic picking thing, and she sings, "My mother should have murdered me for what would convict her, babe. For love is wrapped around my heart. Boa Constrictor, babe. A pretty girl is like a mid-tempo." Yeah, A Pretty Girl is a song. It's like a mid-tempo, simple acoustic piece. It's got funny, heartfelt lyrics. A pretty girl is a violent crime. If you do it wrong, you could do time. A melody's like a pretty girl. Who cares if it's the dumbest in the world? A pretty girl is like a pretty girl. The ultimate conclusion from prettiness is tautology, symmetry. He does not say that in the lyrics. That's what the lyrics mean. What he says is a pretty girl is a pretty girl. My Sentimental Melody is an accordion piece with detached sounding vocals. There's some songs on this that sound like garage rocky, Velvet Undergroundy. Youre speaks in kind of like a Lou Reed, like not trying to sing, and then there's other songs where he's trying to sing. He doesn't have a good voice ever. Neither does she really, but they get it across. And the lyrics are so just uniformly incredible. Anyway, my sentimental melody. It's an accordion piece with these detached sounding vocals that develop into lusher arrangements with pretty chords. Lovely poetic vocals on this. Nothing matters when we're dancing. Sounds like a ukulele. And it's like an invitation to dance, seeing the moon in your eyes. Nothing matters when we're dancing. In tat or tatters, you're entrancing. Be we in Paris or in Lansing, nothing matters when we're dancing. It's a sweet refrain. Sweet Lovin' Man, one of the longest songs. It's in the accordion, string electric jangle through the bridge. It's kind of like sampley. It's one of the more musically interesting songs on the record. One of the more straightforward lyrically. These Things We Did and Didn't Do is like this jangly little synth folk. It's like an anecdote about a miscommunication with a loved one. Roses is barely a song. It's a short a cappella poem that's just telling you to invest in roses. And then like you'll be rich if you invest in roses. And that's the end of the song. Love is Jazz is like a parody of jazz. It's like a walking bass line with a bongo and accordion. The lyrics are him doing like jazz scatting about love. Basically, he's like covering all the different genres of love. And he's covering all the different types of love. Like he's covering heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, non-binary, whatever. He's talking about all these different things. Like women that are craving women, men that are craving whatever. He's talking about all different sorts of relationships. This apparently was originally supposed to be a stage piece that was sung by 4 drag queens. So it would just be like a play with 3-act structure probably. And the records are the different parts of the play. Lyrically, it's great. I'm glad he made it a record because I never would have got to see the play. The Things We Didn't Do. Yeah, I just talked about that. Love is Jazz. Yeah, it's kind of... This, to me, is kind of filler. I think it's just like, well, we can make a jazz song. He does repeat the same song a million times. So he's aware what he's doing. When my boy walks down the street, sounds like that kind of garage rock with the detached vocal. It's kind of good, like rock and chorus. There may be time enough for rocking. It's like a harp with like this austere romance poetry that sounds like it's like written from an older time. Very funny is a piano piece with like very heartfelt lyrics. This austere, formal, classical sounding poetry reminds me of Shakespearean love sonnets. Lots of ways he plays with language and syllables in these very complex forms that are interesting if you like to try to communicate linguistically in a precise way. Some people, like Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen, are hacky instrumentalists, but they're genius lyricists, so who cares? Some people, like Frank Zappa, are terrible lyricists, but they're genius musicians, so who cares? Just be really good at something. Very funny. Grand Canyon is next. Grand Canyon starts with percussion in the whirl of synth, and it's like, you know, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, fucking Grand Canyon. Can't stop thinking about you. No One Will Ever Love You is great. It's next, and it's probably the funkiest song on that record. And it's just like Claudia asking you these kind of impossible questions to her, like, scorned lover, I guess. When things go wrong, I sing along. It is the nature of the business. But you're not here to make my sad songs more sincere. Oh, that's such a good lyric. When things go wrong, I sing along. It's the nature of the business. But you're not here to make my sad songs more sincere. No one will ever love you honestly. No one will love you for your honesty. I'm I'm going to read that again because it's personally relevant. No one will ever love you for your honesty. If You Don't Cry is blurty, They Might Be Giants synth with the, singing, Claudia singing up love, unlove, obsession, limerence, desire, attraction. If you don't cry, it isn't love. If you don't cry, you just don't feel it deep enough. Kinda. You're My Only Home. It's a synthy. We're in the synth. We're back in synth. The male vocal is like complaining about the frustrations of being in a relationship, basically. Crazy for You, but not that crazy. Rocks. It's like a fucking, Brian Jonestown Massacre song. But it has cool little time changes and chord switches. The lyrics are about idealizing a person and them falling short of your impossible fantasy and being repulsed by your devotion to them. You're My Only Friend. Oh, I love this song. This is a sad song. My only love has gone away. You're a genius enough to be a fool to gamble everything and never know the rules. Some of us can live in songs of love and trouble. Some of us can only live in songs of love and trouble. Some of us can only live in bubbles. Hey, Lady Day, can you save my life this time? Make my troubles rhyme? Yeah. You're My Only Friend. So what's the song's called? Promises of Eternity. It's an odd synth piece musically. It's like about giving up on love, basically. Giving up on... There's a great song. Giving up on you. I'm giving up on love. Anyway, it's a different band. Promises of Eternity. It's all about, just love's bullshit. Just, kind of give up on the dream. All numbers, no mystery. No promise of eternity. I can't let this happen to you. Don't you let it happen to me. All numbers, no mystery. When there is no love, everything is numbers. Wasn't it you and I who made promises of eternity? No shows ever happen again. No 7, no 8.5, no 9, and no 10. All numbers, no mystery, guys. World love. Sounds like world music, unsurprisingly. It's like they're going through the different genres and making a love song. But this has a kind of cool, Afrobeat, Sunny Ade type riff. And the lyrics are like a decent love song. Love, music, wine, and revolution. Washington, D.C. starts with a cheerleader chant. Like a female cheerleader chant, and then guitars come in. She starts to sing. It's a cool song. She's just saying, I don't care about DC, I don't care about, the parks, I don't care about the history, I don't care about you live there, and you're my baby, and I love you, and I want to be with you, and so I love DC, but, really, she doesn't care about DC, she just loves the object of her affection. Long Forgotten Fairy Tale. Back in an offbeat, weird synthscape that moves through melodic, into a more steady beat. Kiss It Like You Mean It. This song is great. This is like a Loretta Lynn fucking... Come on, baby, kiss me like you mean it. It's just sang with that country twang. He is my lord. This is just about Yeah, God bless these types of women who sing these songs. She's just worshiping this perfect man. Papa Was a Rodeo. I think it's just a play on Papa Was a Rolling Stone. It's a slow rock ballad with an organ. The lyrics are good. They're always good. Epitaph for My Heart. It's written at first like a consumer warning, something do not remove, don't use batteries or whatever. But then it becomes just a very kind of one of the more vulnerable, emotional things on the record. Gets into this folkier, more serious thing. He vacillates between making fun of love songs and genuinely emotionally just vomiting deep resentment and just like emotional damage he's experienced from going through actual traumatizing relationships and being codependent, emotionally unhealthy. In a way that is undeniable to somebody that has gone through similar experiences and wants to connect to not feel alone in the world. Who will mourn the passing of my heart? Will its little droplets climb the pop charts? Who will take its ashes and singing fling it from the Brill building? That's what they should do with your heart. Fling it from the Brill building. Asleep and dreaming is enchanting. It's accordion and piano. You may not be beautiful. It's not for me to judge. I don't know if you're beautiful because I love you too much. Good lyric. Sun goes down and the world goes dancing. It's like a dancey synth classical piece with this jangly beat. The world's dancing. It's on fire with love, baby. The way you say goodnight is a different female vocalist, I think. It has good lyrics. Straightforwardly kind of admiring your object of affection. Abigail Bell of Kilronan is an echoey electric guitar and a tambourine shaking. The lyrics in this are austere to the degree that they are like legit, like Middle English. There's one song later in this that is like written in Middle English. This is like in that style, but anyway, he's like fighting, he's going off to war and like wishing well for his love, Abigail. I Shatter is sung through a vocoder. Sounds like he's like, lost his throat and speaks through one of those. Over these awkward violin stabs. And he's just saying, like, you make it rain, you do everything. He's like worshipping some person as a goddess. You called me mad, and I am, as a hatter. Some fall in love, I shatter. Underwear, one of the darkest musically. It's just like a bell post and like an electric guitar and these weird synth chords, and it's kind of like a naughty, sexy song. For this record. It doesn't like swear or say anything, actually. This record's pretty. Don't fall in love with me yet. It's a crime. Is synth violin strings and weird blips of arpeggiated synth things. It's a crime to fall in love. It turns into reggae, ska, like two-tone. Wonderful melody develops. Great lyrics. One of the best musical pieces. It's a crime. Busby Berkeley, Dreams. Busby Berkeley, Dreams is a pretty piano piece. The vocals seem very heartfelt. They're kind of trite for this lyric, honestly. But it's supposed to be like it's talking about the trite. It's like his fantasy is a boring version of love. I'm sorry, I love you is rock. You're back to rock. There's a good beat, and it's I'm sorry that I love you. Do not listen to my song is Claudia, and yeah, let's pretend it's a work of art. Let's pretend it's not my heart. That's good lyric. That's good. I identified good lyric. I'm sorry that. It's like acoustic guitar. Oh, no, acoustic. The song is called Acoustic Guitar, which starts with an acoustic guitar. Shocker. Anyway, there's male and female vocals doing melodic exchange. It's quite pretty. Acoustic guitar. If you think I play hard, you could have belonged to Steve Earle or Charo or Guar. I could sell you tomorrow, so you better bring me back my girl. Yeah, Guar. Shout Guar. The Death of Ferdinand de Sade. Sounds like a Jangly Smith songs. I love the lyric, you can't use a bulldozer to study orchids. It's just a good line. You don't know anything. We don't know anything. I don't know anything about love. Those are the lyrics, I'm not just saying that. Love in the Shadow starts with creepy horror sounding synths and odd percussion. What I'm just saying that is the goal. Dark lyrics, the woman with no nose. Abstract, like doesn't rhyme poetry. It's cool. It's like I like what it is sonically. I had you listen to this for 3 hours consecutively just now. Do that. See what mind state you're in. Anyway, sometimes the moon glow plays tricks in your mind. He tells you. Bitter Tears is like an old conventional folk song crying about a love gone wrong. When a wee barn you'll nae beget. In angly pain a maiden I will dee. He'll turn into anything for you. Yeah, he'll turn into anything for you. He lists some things he could turn into. So he's like, I could be a vampire, I could be a cockroach, I could be an atom bomb. I'm in love with you. Yeah, oh yeah, is rockin'. We still have energy at this point, baby. Rallying the energy to listen to 69 consecutive poems about intense emotional trauma. Yeah, oh yeah, it's great. It's fucking... We did it, guys. There's rock and roll music. The lyrics are kind of cliche now, but, you know. The lyrics are literally like, did I drive you up a tree? You never call. Is that all? It's like a man-woman arguing, kind of. That's refreshing at this point. Experimental music love is those 3 words with a lot of echo effects put on them. Meaningless. This is a folky march song. Yes, it's all been meaningless. Just like everything, I guess. Nothing special in the world. Yes, yes, how beautifully meaningless. Yes, yes, how eternally meaningless. Love is like a bottle of gin. Sparse kind of blues. I like the lyric. They keep it on a higher shelf. The older and more pure it goes. It has no color in itself, but it can make you see rainbows. Light. Pure light. Queen of Savages. Lovely ukulele song. It's a neat little description of his beloved that he has this crazy whatever relationship with. My girl is the queen of 10 villages. We live on the fruit of her pillages. She eats the other queens. She's very religious. She doesn't use a fork. I don't think I'll go back to New York. It's just kind of funny. Blue You. It's like an old, orchestrated, like what you put behind a fucking Sinatra. Dark blues lyrics. All the terrible things about you. I Can't Touch You is funk. It's nice to get some groove in there again. It's got that new wave monotone lyrical style on it. Musically, it's a highlight. Lyrically, not so much. There's so much to hate you for. There's so much to hate you for. I can't touch you anymore. That's a song. Two Kinds of People is just echoey guitar, short poem about how there's only me and you, and basically darkness and light is love, and when we're together, things are meaningful, and when we're alone, we're unhappy, because we don't experience love, because we're disconnected from light, because what makes people happy is to experience communion with one another. But it's very difficult. How to Say Goodbye. Tuneful melodic synth, They Might Be Giant stuff. The only thing that I could ever feel, I can't believe it wasn't real. Good lyric, Steven, good lyric. The thing I spent my whole life waiting for has just walked out the door. You can't feel a thing and you won't even try. But baby, you know how to say goodbye. I'm overjoyed to hear about your wedding. I'm sending every blessing. I'm so happy I could cry, baby. You sure know how to say goodbye. The Night You Don't Remember is kind of an Irish traditional folk song about you got drunk and fucked somebody and like it's the night you don't remember is the night I can't forget. It's cute. It's a cute song. I like this song a lot. We Are the King of the Boudoir. Yes, there's a song on this album entitled We Are the King of the Boudoir. It's classical music written in Old English, Shakespearean. I could try to read it. I'll pronounce it worse than I'm pronouncing ordinary English. So I don't think that's a good idea. Strange Eyes, wild synth piece. I like the Claudia vocals here. I like the lyrics here. Oh God, I'm still in love with you. Strange Eyes, star charts, plunges knives into my heart. Xylophone track sounds like a swingy country blues. The lyrics are sung in like a baritone country affectation. That kind of style of songwriting reminds me of like a song off 12 Golden Country Greats by Ween or something. I'm Gonna Die from the Blues is the upshot of this lyrically. It's like, you're making me so sad I'm going to be dead. Zebra, the final song on the record. Ah, yes, we just heard 68 songs. This explains, I think, better than any song, how you should close this record. It's an accordion waltz. It's a waltz played on an accordion. And a female voice, Claudia, I assume, like, there's nothing in the world that impresses this girl. He buys her everything. He takes her everywhere, buys her every palace. He does everything he can do for her. But she wants a zebra in order to like be in love with this man. This man has literally given her everything that he has. But she's like, I want a zebra. You don't have a zebra. I don't care how rich you are. You don't have a fucking zebra, dude. So anyway. If ever I return, pretty Peggy, oh, if ever I return,